Evidence as it comes out will be quite overwhelming. I've been in contact with the Israelis, who are really the people on the ground taking a look at this. And they believe, based on their preliminary assessment, because it's the people on the ground that are going to make the most in-depth assessment of what is taking place here. And they haven't completed their assessment. And they believe the program is set back at least 2 years, if not longer, based on what took place at those sites. And obviously, they hit all 12 sites before we hit the major underground facilities here. And look at the DIA report. It was a preliminary report that had never reached the president yet. It has to go through a process with all the intelligence agencies coming together, making an assessment, and then bring that conclusion to the president. That has been truncated by the leak. So that process hasn't even been completed. And certainly the people are reporting on it, the New York Times and CNN are trying to take advantage of it. I think this will simmer down at some point as the evidence is overwhelming in terms of the success of this operation. But let me say a couple of more points on this. The ceasefire, I would have liked to have seen it have some conditions, public conditions as well as private conditions. And that is that you are not going to rebuild your program, and if you do, Israel and the United States may have to stop it, and we will. I think that's implied, and the president certainly made statements to that effect here, so it cleared up any doubt of what we're dealing with. Let's face the reality here. The regime that's in power in Iran has not changed. They're going to still want a nuclear weapon because they believe it protects them in terms of their survival. They will try to find a way to rebuild it. That's kind of who they are. They are steadfast in their resistance to the United States and Israel. And the United States certainly is committed to Israel here to make certain this doesn't happen. As Martha said, I mean, Iran is back on its heels in a way that they have never been in 45 years. They have lost their military capability. They've lost their nuclear program, much of their ballistic missile program, much of their leadership. And I think they've been politically weakened inside of their country, which makes them more vulnerable to maybe through violence and a coup changing the regime, or eventually the people themselves having a say about changing the regime. But nonetheless, I don't want to focus too much on regime change, but they're vulnerable to it in a way they haven't been. Then the second major point he made is deterrence. The United States, in focusing on destroying the end state of Iran's nuclear program with such a major, remarkable operation that was conducted here,